How you doing, everyone? It's Morgan Crosby from Finch Chevrolet. Want to introduce you to another episode of Finchy's Finds. This is a cool one. So just take a little break. Got back this morning, cruised the lot before anyone came in, and the thing that stood out first when I went on the lot was the one that I'm in right now. This is a pretty awesome vehicle. I've never really been in one of these extensively, so I've been learning about it in the last hour or so to make this video, and I hope you guys enjoy. This is a Hellcat. I'm in a 2016 model. Not a lot of options that you can do on one of these vehicles, so it's going to be very short in terms of the features, but I think it speaks for itself just with its name and what people have already learned through mainstream media and word of mouth through friends, or maybe even if somebody that has owned one. There's some pretty cool things about this vehicle that I really like after learning about it and driving it, and I think really for me the biggest thing is it's a horsepower bargain. 707 horsepower is an obscene amount of horsepower, and with that you really do have the ability to really do anything you want on the streets with it. If you wanted to blow anything, you basically have a car that is capable of being the king of the road in the straightaways, at least. This thing is in a pretty unique color as well. I normally see these in black and white. I'm sure that there's been a couple of them around that you've seen, but when you're in it in person, it's pretty nice. It's in a unique blue. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. I think it's called Jazz Blue or something like that. But yeah, it's a different color. It looks right like a Hot Wheels vehicle, and I kind of like it. It's different. Just going around the vehicle, first off, it's still got the tags on it from when it was originally sold. I was reading this. This is a cool piece of information going on over about the break-in stages and how to take care of the special satin finish paint. So that was cool. It looks to me like the owner of this vehicle left all the original documentation, which is always important when you're dealing with a vehicle that was over 80 grand when it was brand new, and is that kind of a unique performance product. In the vehicle, there's one really cool mode that I found, and that's this SRT button right down here, and the ability to change all these different things. So right now, with it being in the default mode, I've got the street traction control, I've got the suspension a little bit stiffer, and then I've got the red keys, so we're up to the full horsepower. There's two sets of keys. You'll read all about that, where you can do different sets of horsepower. This is an option, believe it or not. The manual transmission is a $1,000 option. I'm glad to see that's on here. Clutch feels really good. It bites really far back in it, and it's a very aggressive clutch, which is good when you're dealing with this much horsepower. No major issues in terms of wear and tear that I need to point out to you in this vehicle. And without further ado, we should probably go outside and see the rest of it. Get a nice little drink holder here. I'd highly suggest using that over the ones right here. Just from experience in my vehicle, having them in the center console is not usually deep enough, and if you're giving her, it's gonna go everywhere. First thing that kind of struck me when I looked closer at it was the wheels. These are 275s in the front, which is just massive. Usually you're seeing a lot smaller of a rim. The spoke design on it is just perfect, and then you've got 6-piston Brembros there with a vented rotor. You've got a nice little splitter here. One of the coolest little design functional cues that I like about it is that this is an intake. Really kind of clever. These are all functional louvers on the hood here, and then you got your little Hellcat logo right there. This, I don't know if you can see it well enough with the iPhone camera, but the paint on this thing is just really shining well. The exhaust on it is unprecedented. I really can't think of a single vehicle that I've driven where it's that amazing at any point when you're driving it. I can't really rev it and shoot it at the same time, but I'm sure there's a ton of YouTube videos out there that you can find of someone giving her. I really like this. Just the finish on this alone is really unique, and I kind of dig it. The lines on the vehicle obviously are pretty iconic retro from the Challengers in the past. So for me, the rear 3/4 on this thing is probably my favorite. And you got that awesome lub dub from the 6.2 with the aggressive camshafts. This thing's got a wicked size supercharger on it. I'm gonna pop the hood here. Might fiddle around for a second to try to figure it out because it's a little different than the GM ones I'm used to. Oh, it's easy. Nice and clean. And the biggest thing that I think about this is awesome is that you don't have to spend 81 grand on it. It's got 4,500 kilometers on it, and we're looking for the mid-60s. So if you're interested in one of these things, don't hesitate to come down and give me a shout. Thanks a lot.